Waar woon jij? Welcome in this fifth lesson of level 1, Start to Dutch. Today we go on with personalia, personal data. Waar woon jij? Let's first listen to the dialogue and after that look at the translation. Waar woon jij? Ik woon in Antwerpen. En jij? Waar woon jij? Ik woon in Oostende. Oh, leuk, dan hou jij van de zee. Ja, dat klopt. Ik hou van de zee. Ik woon in de Noordzeestraat. Mijn adres is Noordzeestraat 93, Oostende. In welke straat woon jij? Ik woon in de Lange Winkelstraat 65. Ik hou van de winkels en de restaurants. Okay, let's take a look at the translation. Waar woon jij? Where do you live? Ik woon in Antwerpen. I live in Antwerp. En jij, waar woon jij? And you, where do you live? Ik woon in Oostende. I live in Oostend. Oh, leuk, dan hou je van de zee. Oh, nice. So you love the sea. Ja, dat klopt. Yes, that's right. Ik hou van de zee. I love the sea. Ik woon in de Noordzeestraat. I live in the North Sea Street. Mijn adres is Noordzeestraat 93, Oostende. My address is North Sea Street 93, Oostend. In welke straat woon jij? In which street do you live? Ik woon in de Lange Winkelstraat 65. I live at Lange Winkelstraat 65. Ik hou van de winkels en de restaurants. I like the shops and the restaurants. Or I love the shops and the restaurants. Okay, let's see what you remember of the dialogue and do some exercise. Oefening. What is the vraag? What was the question? The question in English was, where do you live? Where do you live? What would that be in Dutch? That's right. Waar woon jij? Waar woon jij? The answer to that question was, I live in Antwerp. I live in Antwerp. And what would that be in Dutch? Correct. Ik woon in Antwerpen. Ik woon in Antwerpen. The next question was, in which street do you live? And that would be in Dutch. That's right. In welke straat woon jij? In welke straat woon jij? And what was the answer to that question? Wat is het antwoord? I live at Lange Winkelstraat 65. I live at Lange Winkelstraat 65. In Dutch that would be? Correct. Ik woon in de Lange Winkelstraat 65. Ik woon in de Lange Winkelstraat 65. Wat is ook een goed antwoord? What is also a good answer to that question? My address is Lange Winkelstraat 65, Antwerp. My address is Lange Winkelstraat 65, Antwerp. What would that be in Dutch? That's right. Mijn adres is Lange Winkelstraat 65, Antwerpen. Right, very well. That was the exercise on the dialogue today. Let's take a look at some grammar then. Today we will talk about the verbum presens, the verb in the present form. Present now. It happens now. Presens. Verbum presens, actie nu. It happens now. How do we make the verbum presens? We take the stem of the verb, de stem van het verbum, the stem of the verb. So you have to look at the verb like a tree. It has a base, a stem, and then there's extra twigs on it and leaves on it, and that's the endings for the different persons. So the stem of the verb. Let's take an example then. For example, voorbeeld, werken. Werken is to work. We do away with the leaves and the extra for the infinitive, and we get the stem. The stem is werk. Stam van het verbum is werk. So this is the base on which we will put then the endings for the different persons. So we do only the singularis, the singular today, and the twigs we will add is usually te. Te is a usual ending for the singularis. Let's see when we use it. Ik, I, werk, ik werk. There's no adding to the stem. There's geen extra voor de stam. Jij, je, second person, you, werkt. U is the formal second person, u werkt. Hij of zij werkt. He or she works. Mind the special form when you invert the second person non-formal. When you put je or jij behind the verb, for instance in a question, then there's no added t. There's only the stem. Werk jij. Werk je. We call that inversion, the inverted order. For example, waar werk jij? Ik werk in Oostende. Ach, in Oostende werk jij. Leuk. Ja? Jij werkt in Oostende. Ja, maar waar werk jij? In Oostende werk jij. So if the inverted order, for instance in a question, but also if you put extra information in the beginning of the sentence, then you invert, and for the second person non-formal, that is very special. Never mind, no panic, it's difficult, I understand, but we will regularly come back to this special thing. Okay, so a second example. Wonen, to live. We do away with the extra of the infinitive, the en form, and we get the stem, and it's woon. Because if we say wonen, it sounds open, long o. If we do away the en, then it would sound like won, and won is not won. So that's why we had to add a second o. So a lot of verbs with an open sound have this problem. So the stem is woon, ik woon, jij woont, je woont, u woont, formal u, formal second person, u woont, hij of zij woont. And again, of course, if we invert the order for the second person, inversie, then we get the woon, the stem, the stam, without extra. Waar woon jij? Ah, in Oostende woon jij. Leuk. Okay, let's do an exercise on this. Wat is de stem van het verbum? What is the stem of this verb? Spreken. What would be the stem? Okay, we do away the en ending of the infinitive, and then the stem would be sprek. Oh no, it sounded spreken. So we have to add a second a. Spreek. And now you can fill in the third person, hij, he, hij, Nederlands. He speaks Dutch. Hij, right, hij spreekt Nederlands. So de stem spreekt, de stam spreekt en een added T. Hij spreekt Nederlands. Wat is de stam van het verbum heten? Okay, we'll do away the en ending and the stem would be het. That doesn't sound the same like heten. So, het, there should be a second e added, heet. And then we can fill it in an example. Hoe, jij, and that would be what's your name? Hoe jij, with the verb heten. That's correct. Hoe heet jij? It is inversion. We can, however, not see it because we would not add a second T anyway. Right. I understand that the verb is quite difficult still. No problem. We will come back very, very regularly to it. We will do in next lessons extra exercises and so on. Uitspraak, the pronunciation. We have a few new words today. And there's two words with a O sound. One of them you already know. Klopt, kom. O. O. And in contrast, we will see now the longer O. The longer O as in woon, Oostende, Noordzee. Repeat after me. Woon, Oostende, Noordzee. We also saw today the short e, as in welk, en, and as in an earlier lesson, België. So, welk en België. In contrast, we will now also see the e. The e is the unaccented e. It's an e that doesn't get the attention, that doesn't get the accent. And we see that in the articles, for instance, de, het, een. And also in endings of infinitives, for instance, heten, and also in the word morgen. So we don't say de, het, een, morgen. We don't say that. We do it unaccented, de, het, een, morgen. So repeat after me. De, het, een, morgen. Okay, that's enough for today. As far as pronunciation is concerned, we go on with the word list, Woordenlijst. And these are the words we learned today. First of all, waar. Waar, meaning where. Second word, wonen, and the stem, woon, wonen, meaning to live. Third word is in, and that's the same in English, in. And then a word we learned also today, hou jij van de zee, in that sentence. Houden van, ik hou van, jij houdt van, hou jij van. Mind that the stem sometimes gets a D, sometimes not. So it's a special verb. Houden van. It always goes with this preposition van. Je houdt van de zee. Houden van. And what does it mean in English? To love. De zee. De zee. I think that's not difficult. De C in English. Het adres. Het adres. In English, the address. De straat. De straat. In English, the street. De winkel. De winkel. In English, the shop. And last but not least, het restaurant. Quite a more difficult word, a bit longer, but luckily in English it's almost the same, the restaurant. Only the pronunciation is different. Het restaurant. Okay, that's all for now. If you like this lesson, please subscribe to the channel and put the like button. If you want to repeat it, please feel free. Repetition is very important to learn a language. And of course, we will try to make a next lesson as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.